I'm an insurance adjuster from Columbus, and I have been smoke-free for 4 years. I quit when my wife Sarah got pregnant. But 6 weeks ago, after the worst fight of our lives, I bought my first pack in years. I needed it to process the grief of losing my daughter, Lily. She was 7 years old when an active shooter at Riverside Elementary took her in the cafeteria. It took him 23 seconds to steal our princess. Sarah and I were drowning in different directions. She wanted to talk, to process, and attend support groups. I wanted the world to cease to exist. That night, she'd asked me to go to a grief counselor with her. I said no. She said I was abandoning her when she needed me most. We both said things we'd probably never be able to take back. So I got in the car and drove aimlessly until I came across this gas station off Route 40. I needed cigarettes and needed to not be in my own head for 5 minutes. I pulled in. The lot was nearly empty, except for this beat-up van parked by the pumps with the engine running. A guy was filling the tank, and in the back seat, visible through the window, a little girl, probably his daughter, was crying. I told myself it was none of my business. The kid probably wanted candy or something, and Dad had denied. Typical parenting stuff. But I couldn't stop looking. She had dark hair and pigtails and looked about Lily's age. I went inside, grabbed a pack of Marlboros, and paid the clerk. Through the window, I watched the man walk inside to pay for his gas. The girl was still crying, with her hands pressed against the window and her mouth open in a wail I couldn't hear through the glass. She saw me and mouthed,
"Help me."
My blood went cold and my heartbeat picked up. The rational part of my brain said I was seeing things, that grief was making me paranoid, but my feet were already moving, carrying me back outside toward the van. The girl's face was red and blotchy from crying. When she saw me approach, she started hitting the window and pointing frantically at the front passenger seat. I peeped in and saw a woman slumped in the seat, with her head lolling to the side. A dark stain was spreading across her temple, matting her blonde hair. I squinted a little harder and realized the woman was bleeding. Right then, the bell dinged, and the guy walked out. I really looked at him for the first time. He looked to be about mid-20s, clean-cut, and was wearing a polo shirt and khakis. He looked like someone's friendly neighbor with that goofy grin, but there was something off about him. "Excuse me." He smiled, walking toward the van. "Need you to step away from my vehicle." "Your vehicle?" I asked. "Who's the woman?" "My wife. She's sleeping." His smile didn't waver. "She's bleeding." "She hit her head, sort of clumsy. I'm taking her to the ER." He reached for the door handle. "Now please, my daughter's upset. You're scaring her." The little girl screamed.
"He's not my daddy! He's lying! He took us!"
The man's face flipped in seconds. He was furious. He angrily smacked the window, and before I could move an inch, his hand went to his pocket and came out with a folding knife, the blade already exposed. "You should have minded your own business," he hissed, inching closer. I didn't have a weapon or a plan, but I'd lost my daughter 3 months ago, and this man had taken someone else's. My hand shot out and grabbed the gas pump still hanging from the van's tank. I yanked it out, and gasoline sprayed everywhere, specifically at him. The sharp smell filled the air. I pulled out my lighter and flicked it open. The flame danced in my hand. "Don't move," I warned. "Don't move or I'll light us both up." His eyes went wide. The knife was still in his hand, but he'd frozen. Gasoline dripped from his hair and clothes. One spark, and we'd both be gone. "Drop the knife." He didn't move. "Drop it! You're making a mistake. You don't know who we are." The knife clattered to the pavement. "Keys, toss them over here." He pulled them from his pocket with shaking hands and threw them toward me. I kicked them further away. "Now sit down. Hands on your head." He complied. I kept the lighter burning and kept it visible. My thumb was aching from holding the button, but I didn't dare let go. "Somebody call 911. I shouted toward the store. The clerk's face appeared in the window with his phone already pressed to his ear. The little girl was still crying, but quieter now.
Mommy, wake up!
"Your mom's gonna be okay, sweetheart," I said, though I had no idea if that was true. "The police are coming. You're safe now." It took them 6 minutes to make it there. They found the whole story on his phone. He'd been catfishing single moms on dating apps. He'd flagged down this woman on the highway, pretending his car broke down and asking for a ride. When she stopped, he hit her with a tire iron, threw her in the passenger seat, and took off with her and her daughter. The woman, Jennifer Hayes, survived. Severe concussion and fractured skull, but alive. They said if I hadn't stopped him, he would have taken them somewhere and done things I wouldn't want to think or speak. The detective called me a hero and said I saved 2 lives, but I didn't feel like a hero. I felt like a man who finally did something right in a world that had taken everything from me. I went home that night. Sarah was still awake, sitting in Lily's room, holding her stuffed elephant. I sat down next to her and told her everything. We cried together for the first time since the funeral. We're going to counseling now. It's not fixed, and I don't know if it ever will be, but we're trying.